Hello and welcome to this Minecraft Modded Proton Let's Play. I hope you're alright guys, my name is Vidargavia and today we're gonna do some crafting, okay? We're gonna make a hibachi, a turntables and all sorts of things and a kiln so that we can get some Soulforged Steel. But first off guys, you saw in the little replay we did there at the beginning that I now have some cows. I painstakingly got them from far, far away. It took me 2 nights. But now they're here and I've bred them a little bit. And so we can get leather. And that brings us to the next topic here. The little building I've done in between episodes, guys. In between episodes. Here we are at the Tannery. We have a tannery now. So this will take care of all our leather needs. We have leather here. We can hand crank it in the millstone here to get scoured leather, which we can store here. And then we can melt it down in the cauldrons with some bark. We'll store it there, here even. And then we can take our knife and cut it out and store that here. I think this overall is probably going to be a pretty practical solution, especially if we have some cows somewhere in a more permanent pen than that, over here maybe, somewhere. And maybe we'll even give this thing power via some water wheel action later on, because we could possibly make a river coming down from the mountain and into this here ravine maybe, or something like that. So that's one thing I've done. And the other thing, I've made a sawmill. I figured, you know, I felt like building one of these days in between recording, and I just thought, well, you know, this is going to be the same style as our starter house and our windmill, so I figured, you know what, I'll just go ahead and do it. And I've installed some storage drawers. They're very shiny. And yeah, this saw was a little bit cramped here, but the power comes from underneath. And if you don't know why, you should check out last episode. And then I bring it up here to no less than 3 saws. And yeah, we can just stand here and place stuff and it'll get obliterated. Now there are some problems here, there are some problems. It does squirt around the entire area, so when you're done you probably should go here and clear up after yourself. But, you know, it's fine, you know. It looks really snazzy, I think. So, but expect now that this is going to be a very crafting heavy episode, guys, okay? But I'll try and run through it quickly, but so that you can also see what it is that I'm doing. So, yeah, here we go. Okay, guys, the goal here is to make Soulforged Steel, okay? And to start out with, we need a filtered hopper. A filtered hopper, and believe me, we're probably going to make a ton of these. Because, you know, they are hoppers that you can set to only accept 1 item. So there we go, we have a filtered hopper. I don't know what it looks like even. It looks like a box. Excellent. And it has an interface, and we can put a thing here and, you know, do some bits with it. But obviously its main function is to be a hopper that you can filter. Item storage, here we go. Next up we need a turntable so that we can make pots and urns and crucibles. And it's just some sidings, some stone and a clock. Here we go. Turntable. And again, I don't know what this looks like. It looks like a hopper with some buttons on it. I don't know what these do yet. We'll find out. We also need a bellows so that we can make the hibachi's fire very hot. And so we need some leather and a leather belt and a gear and some sidings. So let's go over to the tannery, because you can see I'm missing those things. Okay, we have some cut leather. I think we need some straps as well. I don't know how many. Let's see. Let's make 8. Let's see what happens. So we needed 2 leather belts, right? We can make that. That's excellent. And then we needed 3 cut leather. I don't think I have that. I have 2. Whoops. And now we should be able to make our bellows as well. Yeah, so this we can use to with the redstone signal to power an unpower, so like a clock, and it'll blow on a fire. Excellent. Alright, so now we can actually make the hibachi, which is what is going to give us the fire. But as you can see, we need something here called concentrated hellfire. We need some heating element, redstone and some stone. And the heating element, that's redstone, blaze powder and string. So we should be able to make that. But this concentrated hellfire, that is a bit more tricky. We need a cauldron to fire to do up some hellfire dust, and that gives us concentrated hellfire. And the hellfire dust in turn we get from one of these filtered hoppers. So basically, first off we need to mill some netherrack. Wow, the sound effect. And here we are, ground netherrack. I need to back off, I think. I'll tell you what, guys, that is awesome. Those sound effects just make the nether even more scary, even though we're not even in the nether. I really enjoy that. But man, they're loud. So, to accomplish this feat here, we need to place our filtered hopper in the world. And then we need to give it mechanical power, just to avoid any unpleasantries. And then we need to place a piece of soul sand in the filter of the filtered hopper. And then in theory, we should be able to throw this stuff onto it to get the hellfire dust. That worked like a charm, actually. Let's see, I need to make more of this screaming stuff. That would help, probably, if I threw it on the thing. There we go. Excellent. Alright, that was a bit of an ordeal if ever I saw one. But now we have 24 of this stuff, so I think if we split that up between these 3 cauldrons, we'll have it go a little bit quicker. And as you can see, that's now slowly smelting up, and that should produce 1 ingot for each one of them. And then we should be able to craft our hibachi. And there we go. 2, 3. Hibachi! Oh yeah, I need to make this thing. Alright. Heating element. Now we should be able to make our hibachi, I think. Yep. Hibachi, check. So now we need a crucible. And so we're going to make that with clay, using the turntable that we made earlier. This thing needs power from underneath, so we need to have a little stick. And then we need to have a little axe. And then we need to have a little gearbox there, I think. And then we need to have a little axle again. And then we should be able to put the turntable on top there, like that. I don't know if this is enough now. Let's break that. I don't know what this means. Why are there settings here that I don't understand? Aha, that's the slow setting. Aha, an unfired crucible. Okay, so you just need to basically watch this thing and turn it off at the first stage. Because this thing can make crucibles, and then if you leave it in a bit longer, you make a urn, and then if you leave it in a little bit longer still, you make a pot. If I understood it correctly. So anyway, now we have an unfired crucible, and to make use of it, we need to fire it first. And to do that, we need a kiln. And to make a kiln, we need bricks. I'll tell you what, guys, that was painful. Smelting up clay takes forever. But we have 25 bricks here. I think that is enough. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Boing. We place our hibachi there. Then it needs power. I think it can have power from here. And I guess we need to turn that on now. And that should now give fire. Aha! It needs redstone power. So now we have fire here if we want to. But we want to turn it off for the minute, because we need to build the kiln above it. And I should say as well, by the way, this is all temporary, of course. We're going to move it to somewhere nicer later on. But we place a block here, and then we need a 3x3 made out of bricks, if I understand it correctly. So 3x3. And by the way, I love this brick texture. It's so much nicer than the vanilla one. Man, it is. Okay, and then I think there needs to be a brick here. I think there needs to be a piece of brick here as well, but I could be wrong. And then we build a roof on it like this. Okay, so that's our kiln. Yeah, if we place the bellows, which is somewhere here. If we place it here, that should be right. I think that's the right way to do it. And this thing also needs redstone power in a clock. So I'll make one and we'll look at it. Oh, it turns out the thing actually needs mechanical power, but the mechanical power needs to be turned on and off. This is a very awkward setup I have now. Okay, I'll simplify the wiring here a bit. So I lowered it and put it forward one step, and actually we can try it out now. So this now is on fire, and then if we turn this on, you see the bellows will go down, and then we turn it off, up, turn it down, on, turn it up. And this is the blue fire we want. And actually I could stand here and do this and sort it out like that. But you know, that's obviously not how we do. So the way to control this is obviously to have a redstone signal going into this gearbox, and that'll turn it on and off. A redstone clock signal, basically. So sometimes it's on and sometimes it's off. I think I'm gonna just make a hopper clock. Okay, I think we got it. So I have, let's see, I have 6 items in the hopper clock, and there's just a redstone line going to this gearbox. And so as we can see now, the fire is blue, and I think I've been watching it for a little while, and I think it's blue all the time. So now we should be able to place our Unfired Crucible in this device, thus gaining a crucible. But I'm unsure if we place it in the middle there or out front here. Let's try and place it out front here first and see if anything happens. I would say not. Let's try and get it and place it spread underneath the hibachi. Yeah. We can see things are happening. It looks like it's gonna break, guys. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. Hey, we got a crucible. Now we need to get to it somehow without burning ourselves. Okay, that's cool. I don't know if these blocks needs to be here now then, because it seems unreasonable that you have to put it so that you can't reach it. And so we're getting closer to our Soulforged Steel, guys. First off, in what's left here, we need an urn. And we do that in the turntable by letting it spin for longer. So let's see. We need a block of clay, which I think I have on my person. Where am I? So we need to go over here and put that up there. And then I guess I can put a lever on here for now. No, I can't. Okay. So now it's off. Now let's see. Let's place that. Turn that on. Take the lever. I mean, this is this is a setup. It's very temporary, guys. I will sort this out. So now we can see the urn being sorted out in there. It's really cool with multi-block structures. I really like them. It gives you a whole different sense of tactileness in your world, really, which I love. Okay, guys, so in this urn we need to have some Hellfire dust. So if we put it underneath the hopper like so, a filtered hopper, and then we take a bit of ground netherrack, and toss. I'm not sure that worked. Okay, I'm gonna go and get another one. Right, I consulted the internet. You place it underneath like that, and then you need to make quite a lot of Hellfire dust. There we go. Pops off. And we have ourselves a soul urn. What we need to do is we need to take the soul urn, a piece of iron, and the coal dust. I don't know how you get that. I guess you mill coal. Yep. So you need to take that and put it in a stoked crucible. Alright. So, and I only have one hibachi at the moment, so I need to take this down and put the our shiny crucible above it, above the hibachi. Alright, we're getting some coal dust here. I'm not sure the miller is very happy with us. We're putting netherrack and coal and all sorts in his mill. And I think, in general, I think it's probably a good idea to have one of these millstones in pretty much every work area you got, because I think you need to mill most things in Proton. I'm sure that's enough. Let's go. Okay, I've fired up our bellows. Let's fire up the hibachi. We have the urn, sorry, the crucible. And if we look in it, we should be able to place... I need a piece of iron. And we're back. Okay. So we need a piece of iron. And we need a piece of dust. And we need the soul urn. And that hopefully now will start... making the Soulforged Steel, and I think that's the process you have to go through for each one of these Soulforged Steels that you want. So obviously I think we get to keep the urn as well, so we can go back with that and fill up with some more ground netherrack, and then we're sort of in business here. In fact, I'll put those in and those in, and look, we have our Soulforged Steel. So I'm going to do this for a little while, guys, and then we'll see what we can make with this stuff. Okay, so we have 10 of these Soulforged Steel now, and I mean, it takes a long while to do it now, but I've already thought of some things we can do to sort of automate this. And the first thing you need to do, really, is you need to make a steel anvil, because all of these recipes require the steel anvil. So you do that with... like so, and then we can go in here and we can make ourselves, for instance, like a Soulforged Steel sword. Like that, I think. No? Oh, a haft. We need glue and molding and leather. Wow, this is more involved than I thought, and now it's in the middle of the night. Okay, let's see. Wait, did I get my steel back? Oh, no, it remembers. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, let's take the stick out and let's go and make some glue. Right, it says in the thing here that you can use almost anything in a stoked cauldron rather than the crucible. So I went and got one of the cauldrons. And you can use leather armor. And I have this old leather tunic. So I figured we'd chuck that in there and see what happens. Haft, right? We needed a molding, some glue, and a leather strap. So I'll go and get that quickly. Yeah, man, this is really cool, but it does take a little while to do. So for this to be effective, we need to really have a lot of resources at hand, and we need to be able to automate a fair bit of this. I think maybe I have a strap in here. It's only one, right? Yeah. But I think there are possibilities to do it, because the mechanical power does interact with redstone and so on. So I think there are good chances and good opportunities to do it, and I am looking forward to doing it. But I need to think it through very carefully. Let's see, yep, here we go, glue. So now we should be able to make the haft, like that. Place it in the anvil. And we have a Soulforged Steel sword, and we got the achievement Time to Strike. And this is equivalent to a diamond sword, really, to a normal diamond sword, but you know, it's cooler. It makes me think of Elric. I don't know if you can enchant it. Let's go and find out quickly. Yes, you can. Oh, that's pretty cool enchantment. Anyway, XP boost on your Soulforged sword. Oh yeah, and thank you guys, by the way, for the feedback on the backpack. I have discovered that for you to pick it up and put it on, you have to have an empty hand. and shift left click, and then shift right click takes it off again with an empty hand. But okay guys, so we can enchant our Soulforged stuff, we can make Soulforged Steel, we can make glue, there's all sorts of things we can make now. Packing tape. Packing tape is very cool for moving storage crates. And in fact, you know what, this unlocks the last bits of Proton. Of course, things are still going to be hard for us to make, because this takes a long while. Until we have a good setup of this, it's going to take a long while to make everything really. But this is all of the technology tree unlocked in Proton. So now we can start using it in various ways, and start to fiddle with it and have fun with it. But there are some things that we need to do first, I think. So I think maybe next time I need to build myself a storage room, because I'm realizing now that I'm gonna need a ton of stuff to make all this stuff work. You know, I'm gonna need a lot of netherrack, because you need to make 8 Hellfire dust for every soul urn that you make. And I suspect we're gonna need quite a lot of Soulforged Steel in the end. Yeah, you just need a lot of stuff to make all this stuff go around, and you need a lot of clay, so I need to collect more of that, and yeah, some things like that. So probably next time we're gonna do a storage room with storage drawers. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!